Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rob. Welcome to this week's Power Hour. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type the number 1 in the comment section, in the chat box. Let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. There's nothing worse than me talking to myself for the next hour. I already talked to myself for the last hour. Now the next hour. Oh, let's see. Hey, Brenda, afternoon. Jeff, good morning to you. Helen, how was vacation? It was outstanding. If you guys have not been to Ogunquit, Maine, there's an area there called the Marginal Trail. I don't know why they call it marginal, because it's anything but. It is an outstanding place. I would go back just for that. We actually were looking at property, at houses, after visiting there. It was so beautiful. We had a great time. Definitely important downtime for me, that's for sure. Afternoon, Kevin. PK said, glad you're back. Hope vacation was refreshing. Very tiring, but it definitely was good, needed, required, a benefit for sure. Woo, for sure. Hey, afternoon there, Trip, or morning possibly for you. Could you see the aurora from where you were? No, I did not see that. No trading allowed on vacation. Yeah, you guys may have caught some of my Instagrams. I even got in trouble for doing those. I kind of slacked off on them at the end of the week. My wife was not happy. Our arrangement is when we go on vacation, there's no trading. She doesn't realize I still have open positions. How is my SPY doing, my Amazon doing, whatever positions I've got, my covered positions, my rut iron condors. How is all that working? She doesn't understand that, right? No, you agreed. Vacation, there's no computer. Right? It's almost better when we got a 2-room suite, so I can get out of the bedroom, go into the living room while everybody else is sleeping. It's almost better if I don't have that and I go down into the lobby. No one comes looking for me and they can't catch me on the computer. Ah, goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know why you got that, Brenda. I'll look into that, but it's not done yet. It won't be done until Wednesday. Yeah, slide dog, exactly. I was talking options, and my wife caught me saying that word on the phone. It's like, you're talking about options. No. It's all good though. All good. Hey, morning, Robert. Thank you very much. I hope you guys had a good time with Brandon last week, right before he got ill. Right, he's back in action now, but he canceled E-minis last week. So, all right, so let's go ahead and jump in. Keeping in mind that everything we look at here today is for educational purposes only. Nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. All right, we've got a lot of stuff coming up this week, guys. Inner Circle is coming up on July 20th. That is Wednesday. The 21st is Monster Market Movers. Mastering the Trade is on the 22nd. That is for those of you that are in power option plays. You'll automatically be registered, so you don't have to do anything. You'll get an email that says, hey, you're registered, but make sure you lock it in. No, Rob, that's Friday. Friday. Because of vacation month, I had no choice. I had to cram the whole month into 3 weeks for me, right? And then the trading news on the 27th. Mastermind is next week. I'll be teaching that as well. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook, all on their regular schedule for this upcoming week. Power Option Plays, Covered Call, E-mini, also all regular schedule for this week. Right, here's our follow us page. I know some of you follow us on some platforms, not on others. Sean, where did that video go out this morning on the pre-market candidates?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Okay, so a lot. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn was one of the videos we sent out today. Well, another one was sent out on some different ones, but I put out a video this morning on the upcoming candidates and what the pre-market prep was looking like. Kind of like we did in the market mornings.
Twitter.
And Twitter also. Kind of like what we did in the market mornings. Right, event. And we had thousands of views in the first half hour on one of those videos that we put out. So, and guys, some of those positions are kicking tail. And if you're trading credit spreads on them, you crushed it. You did amazing with credit spreads on these positions, or at least on some of them, right? So make sure you're checking out all the various social platforms. Don't be shy. But Rob, I don't do anything on Twitter. Then open a Twitter account, follow us. Don't tell anybody else about it, and you'll be good to go. Right, charting your way to success, guys. I want you to look at this for a second. Right, we did a live training last year in New York where we actually went through the techniques, the tips, the strategies on how I use the market, the chart, the art of the chart to become successful at trading, right? You'll see some emails coming out in this. Lee, can you drop a link into Charting Your Way to Success? Guys, take advantage of this. It's an online training series that you get access to. Full day of multi-screen recording. In other words, we had 3 cameras shooting this video series, right? It was outstanding. So go ahead and check that out, right? Oh, I don't want to show you that yet. Trade of the day, not yet. So what are you guys trading? Talk to me, tell me, drop it in the chat box. How did you do today? What did you do today in your trades? Drop them in, let me know. Right, let's see if we can't reach for that hammer right away. Let's see. Robert said you were talking about the sightseeing options, Rob. Yeah, wink, wink, you got it. Brenda said $454 on the Qs, got in on Friday at 304, out this morning at 457, 290 calls. Excellent. Great job, Brenda. Great job. Paul said, do you anticipate resuming market mornings later? We are talking about it. Yes, we're laying out an entire social plan. I want to get that back on, but the summertime just didn't work. I'm taking another week off in August of vacation. My wife and my daughter are both off as teachers. I want to spend as much time with them, especially my youngest daughter right now, because she's 25 years old. She ain't gonna be home that much longer. We hope. I mean, we think. She's not gonna be there that much longer. So I want to spend as much time as I can with her. So I'm gonna take a bunch of days off through the summer this year. Let's see. You're welcome, Brenda. Gary said he's got calls on FCX and RCL that are still in play. Hey, Roman, good to have you here, sir. Any trades today, Roman? All right, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of trades go off for you guys today. So let's do this. Let me bring you back over here. Google, how'd you do? Oh, yeah, Google and NQ. How'd you do on Google? You know, it killed me, Roman, but I did nothing on it. I haven't had the chance. It has been an absolutely insane day. We are not showing an adjusted price here. It actually is. It's showing we're down $2,123. So Mega Charts needs the day to close before we can make the update on it there. Here we look at Google. Quick pop, drop. Okay. So I've got a plan, a schedule in place of what I'm looking at for Google. I just need to see a bigger picture, time frame wise, so I can go ahead and let's see, where's my daily? So I can go ahead and get some fibs drawn on there. Right, got a lot of great moves in there that are potential for fibs. So once Omega Charts is updated today, I'll be putting them on. But nice channel that it's been in based on the current price that it's at, which is 111. I said it yesterday in the pop update that that's about where we thought it was going to open up, was 111. So a little bit higher, ran up to about 113.5. It's back at a 111, what we'll call 112 right now. Roman said, took it to the downside, 10 contracts, $400. Nice job. NQ 80 ticks using Rob and Brandon's RSI strategy mixed up. So my strategy, Brandon's RSI. Guys, that's why I'm so excited for this event that Brandon's going to be teaching in New York. I know he talked about it last week with you guys. Where he's going to actually walk you through the things he does all day long. This is a day in the life of Brandon. That's what we should have called it. A day in the life of Brandon, because he's going to walk you through everything that he does for a day in his trading. When volatility drops off, when volatility picks up, he's going to go through all of that, sharing those experiences with you. Right? So Google, good job. 80 ticks. Great job, Roman. Great job. Fantastic. All right. Amelia, many of you know, is our head trader here, and she puts out Trade Watch alerts. Lee, could you go ahead and drop Trade Watch alerts in there, please? She puts out Trade Watch alerts every day with candidates that she's looking at trading. She takes those trades, non-funded, for you to see them, right? And does the trade, sends it in to me. We put it into the PowerPoint to share with you guys. So here she did a bull call debit spread. Bullish trade using calls, debit, cash coming out of your account, all right? So she did 3 contracts of each. You can see quantity, right? And this was on AMD. So Trip, you got to appreciate that one, right? It's on AMD. She had a debit of 42 cents when she got into the trade. So what was her risk in this trade? She did the 83, 84s. So there's $1 total between 83 and 84. excuse me, her maximum risk is $1. She took in 42 cents. So her risk, not the maximum risk, her risk is 58 cents, right? The other side of 42, 58, 58, 42, 1, right? 52 cents of risk. She got out of the trade with a 70-cent credit. Well, she spent 42 cents. She got back 70, 52, 62, 72 would be 30 cents, 28 cents. And how long is she in the trade? From 9:32 to 9:42, just under 10 minutes or just about 10 minutes in that trade, right? Great job on that setup. Great job. Yeah, awesome, Amelia. She does a phenomenal job, guys. She really does. I'm impressed always with her. She's got all her rules set up. She looks at the market. She looks at volatility. She looks at VIX, and she knows exactly the trade strategy she's looking for, and she finds the candidates that fit that strategy so she could take advantage of that type of move in the marketplace. Right? Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so I had a couple of trades from this morning that I put out there on Market Mornings. Let me go ahead and bring that up. It's not Market Mornings. It's actually on our social platforms. Again, you'll see them Instagram, Twitter, all of that. We've got it YouTube. First half hour was like 3,000 views we had on one of the videos, something like that. First one was big airplane. Right, Boeing. What happened with Boeing? Delta buying 100 Supermax planes. I don't know what Supermax plane is, but it's big, I guess. Supermax. I mean, you got to have both of those words in there. 100 planes. They were up about 5 and change this morning. We would be looking for a bear call spread. A bull put spread rather, way down below. If we go look at big airplane. Right, we're looking at a bull put spread down below this fib level. So we got plenty of room to the downside, baby. Plenty of protection in there on big airplane. This one has worked out. If you did this trade, it worked out extremely well. Could you have done directional trade on it? You could have. You absolutely could have. But what's the drawback to it by doing a directional trade? You're buying into volatility increase because of the good news. So you're paying more for the option. They're inflating the option. It jacks up. And what happens? It pulled right back. So if you're in a directional trade, you got your head handed to you, right? Non-directional trade. And when I say that, it's a selling position. So if it goes up, I make money. If it goes sideways, I make money. If it goes down a little bit, I still make money, right? That's the idea behind it. When I buy a call, I got one direction. That's it. One direction. It can only go one way. It has to go one way for me to make money, right? A whole different can of beans here with a credit spread, right? Coinbase, right? They're up today. Why? Bitcoin is up. It was over 22,000 this morning, right? If we look on an intraday basis at Bitcoin, or at Coinbase rather, all right, there we go. All right, so let me just pull that out a little bit. Right, I'd be somewhere down here below my moving averages or below that base, maybe below that pivot of about $51. Somewhere down below there, 50 and a half would be my credit spread, right? Looking for 20, 30, 40 cents on a credit spread, depending on the options of what's available. And then last one was Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, GS, no S required. All right, so we got this gap up and we've just trailed off. Same scenario on a credit spread. Could you have done a directional trade? You could have, but look what's happened, right? Instead, and Goldman Sachs is a power option plays candidate, right? So let's see. You can see the move that it's made up. This one had a nice pop up, ran, and if you look at the intraday on it, right, you had this pop, and this good move up, and then we failed right away. So if I'm in this trade, I'm probably getting out with that kind of quick reversal. Where were we? 935, 40, 45, 50. There we go. 950 candle is your first reversal of the day, right? So big pull down, right? This one did okay. It just depends how close to that fib line you chose, because we gapped up to here. So setting up right here below that level, you're a little bit tight, right? But could you have done a directional trade? Well, you see why the directional becomes an issue. I maximize my risk. If there's a $1 credit spread, if I'm doing the, it's not going to be a $1, but if it was a 90 and a 91, $1 is the max risk less the credit I receive. If you're doing something here on Goldman, it's probably 250 spread, right? So it's $2.50 of risk less the premium you took in, 50, 80 cents on that trade. All right, so all nice setups this morning, right? I hope you guys got to take some others. Well, let's see. Paul said on Goldman Sachs, say you were looking at the 235 bull-put credit spread, but because it jumped at the open like that, would you adjust where to sell the spread? The spread to me, Paul, is all based on not where it opens. Well, I guess a little bit, but it's based on what the chart tells me. So if I have a support level at 100 and the stock gaps up to $100.50, to use that 100 as my level is too tight. You've got to expect a big gap up. You're going to see some pull down. So I've got to use the chart to determine where. If your point comes across, I think the way you're questioning it or asking the question is, you looked at it pre-market and based on yesterday's numbers, this is what you would do. Yes, I would have to make the adjustment based on how it opened in comparison to what the chart looked like. In other words, where are all those famous Fibonacci lines setting up, right? I hope that helped. Let me know. Cool. You got it. All right. Great, Paul. Thanks. Danke. All right. Let me bring us back into the presentation. Come on. There it is. All right. Trading the summer slump. What a great one, right? So I've said this. If you haven't heard me say it, I've said it 100 times if I haven't said it 1,000. Okay. This year, 2022, has been one of the most difficult years I have ever gone through as a trader, right? After living through, trading through 1999 to 2000, and then everything, the disaster that followed that. From 2007-08 and all the disaster that followed that. This has been a very complicated market to trade. At least in 07-08, the market just crashed, man. It's just buy puts. You're going to make money. Oh, it's going up today. It'll go down tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We're not in that market. We're seeing this market where we have these 4, 5, 6 days up, 4, 5, 6 days down, big gaps in one direction. Like last week on Friday, the S&P up 70 some odd points. Shh, I did check. Don't tell my wife. All of this craziness that's going on. And that this year, the example, I guess the best example I can give is, and I don't have the document here with me because I'm in our office today, but on power option plays, and I'm going to share it on Friday when we go through the pop training Friday night, is we're up $53,000 in the month of June. Now, some of you go, man, that's awesome. Yeah, it's half of what we want or need, to hit our goal. Thankfully, we've had some amazing months where we've had over $200,000 months in power option plays based on the trades that we set up, assuming you took every trade the exact way that we teach it. These were what the results were, potentially, okay? And when you look at our numbers from last month, it's summertime, which the expression is sell in May and go away. Get out of your trades in May because you've got, down south where people get out on vacation, summer vacation earlier. And in the East here, up in New York, in this area, we don't go, school is not over until the end of June, right? So, but sell in May and go away, right? And then don't trade for the summer and come back again after the summer and start trading there. I don't necessarily agree with that. One of the best years we've ever had in power option plays was in a bad year. The market was in just a nasty bearish move, and we did phenomenal through that summer. The best months we've ever had were in that type of year. So I don't necessarily agree, and they were summertime months. I don't necessarily agree with sell in May and go away, but I do believe you've got to look at this in a much different fashion. If you're trading longer term, if you're holding swing trades right now for multiple days and weeks, you really have to ask yourself the question, is this the market condition? We're going to look at the S&P in a few minutes, but is this the market condition that we really want to do that in? And for me, the answer is no. That doesn't mean for you it's not. That doesn't mean there aren't other traders out there that are making lots and lots of money on those types of trades. But I can tell you, my friends, the individuals that I know, the professionals that I know are sellers, they're not buyers. They're selling right now. They're getting paid up front. They get a smaller rate of return, but they get paid up front and have a limited risk in that trade. Directional trades are great. If you hit a home run, guys, if I had it here, I could show it. But on our booking trade, we've exited 3 contracts in power option plays. Someone help me out. I think we're up like 38 grand on those 3 contracts. Is that about right? Someone that's in power option plays, let me know. Right? 3 contracts, $38,000. We have 1 left as a runner. Right? And we may be stopped out of that one today, depending on what booking's doing. I'm not looking. And it's puts, the put options we have on them. Right? But we are knocking it out of the park on that. So do we do swing trades? Yes, but it is not the mainstay of my diet. More so we're doing day trades than we are doing swing trades. So my methodology, because I'm a swing/day trader, is reduce the number of swing trades, only go after them aggressively, means we only take a maximum of 4 contracts, period. And then put most of the time, effort, and energy into the day component of that. Now, that's one type of account. Another type of account, which is more retirement, says we do selling strategies in there. Right. So I've heard this before, but Rob, covered calls, covered call explorer, it doesn't work in the summertime. Sure, it does. You just have to know how to use it. Absolutely, it does. There are still positions that are going opposite of what the market does. There are seasonal positions. There are diagonal put spreads, which we've introduced in this last year to Covered Call Explorer, which are a great way to trade. Once again, guys, if you look, let me see something here. I'm not on my account. Let's see, members. Okay. I don't know why it didn't take me there. Oh, it's thinking. So, Sean, do you have access on yours to Covered Call Explorer? Okay. So if we can ever get it to switch over, I don't know why it's not. There we go. I just got, it's a very small laptop, hard drive wise, space wise. Hey guys, I'll go back a couple of weeks and show the one from a few weeks ago. Right, a couple of covered call candidates and naked puts, not a lot. Some Wheel of Fortune, diagonal call spreads. We just had 2 that week, and look at all the diagonal put spreads. I don't know if I can do anything to make that bigger. Oh, I can. There we go. Look at that. All right. So, AFLAC is the first line, right? You're talking about you need $6.92 is your cost base in this trade, a 9.54% rate of return with a, if you're called out, you'd be profitable on day 1, which is almost unheard of on diagonal type spreads, right? That's the only one on this page that you'd be profitable if you were called out of the position. But when you look how much you would have at risk, this column here, if exercised, it's minimal. Right? $1, 2 cents, 50 cents, 13, 40, 45 cents, small, very small amount of money at risk. Right? So it's not that a certain thing doesn't work. It's how to make it work for that market condition. Right? That's why you're all here. That's why you're in Covered Call Explorer and Power Option Plays and E-mini and Patterns in a Flash and, Trade Watch Alerts and all of that. Because guys, when something's going on, Amelia and I are on the phone. Brandon and I talk, Ryan and I talk, Tony and I talk. That's the idea behind it, right? Is having that group of individuals that have their own skill set that they're really, really good at and being able to capture off of all of it. And Roman said it the best. I use Rob's system and Brandon's RSI to pick up 80 points on the NQ. 80 ticks, right? What a great move. Great, 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 great move. Oh, Jeff said the grandkids start the new school year this Wednesday, and that's in Arizona. Wow. Brenda said, I'm so glad to hear that. I thought I was just me. Whew. No, Brenda, listen, anybody that's saying that this is an easy year to make money is lying. Period. The end. It's not an easy year. I see the number of our trades that we do. We only did 20 trades last month in power option plays. And some may look at that and go, wow, Rob, I'm paying for a subscription. I'm only getting, 5 trades a week. Yeah, I know that's like 1 trade a day. I get it. If you only did 10 trades and it was 2.5 trades a week, so what? It's all a matter of, can you use it to learn to become a better trader? And remember something, this is not, I'm going to find a new strategy, whether I teach it or you learn it somewhere else, you learn it on your own. When I start a new strategy, guys, it isn't, hey, I'm going to do this new strategy and I expect to be profitable today. I expect it's going to take me some time to figure it out. Now, might it take me less time than somebody else? It might. Might it take me more time than some others? Sure. I've got a lot of experience at this, so then most I could probably do better, quicker to pick it up or determine if it's good or bad or not. For others, they're much better than I am, and they can determine a lot quicker than me. They use software and back testing and all that. Great, you can do all that, right? I do as well, but I may not be as good as someone else, so it takes me a little bit longer. But no matter what, I know that there is an invested amount of time I'm going to have to put in for anything new that I learn. Anything new that I learn. Right? Just listen, you want a tough chore? Go and learn how to speak Brooklynese. All right? And you tell me how easy that is. Okay. Let's see. All right. Excellent. Let me put that down there. All right, let me take that down, guys. I want to bring up and look at the charts a little bit at S&P, actually. So the S&P 500, great gap up on Friday and closed in a neutral bias. This candle is Friday right here. 7:15 is Friday. Okay. And then this is today. Doji candle, but tell me what you see. When you look at the chart, and at this Zoom, what's the very first thing that you see? Put it in the comment section. Come on, this is interactive. Get busy typing. If you're a one-finger typer, so what? It'll take you 1.5 minutes to type it out. So what? What do you see? Okay, PK. Resistance to the left was PK. Oscar said a doji, good. Possible morning star, a double top. Robert said gapped up to the 3,900 and the previous high, paused at 3,900, indecision, Tripp said. All of them the right answer. It has a point of all of that in there. The very first thing I see is a doji at a major key confluence level. I have a 100-point level there and a fib line just above that. And that fib line is $7.19 above where that 100-point level is. That would be the 3,900 level and then the 3,907 level, right? So I've got a major confluence happening right there and a doji right there. What's a doji? Indecision. And someone had typed that in. I think it was a Tripp. Tripp typed in indecision. The bulls fought. The bears fought. Nobody won. We opened here. We went higher. We went lower, but we're right back where we started. As of so far, we've tested that 3,900 and pulled back. We went down a little bit and the bulls went, not letting it happen. We're going to pick it back up again, right? We're up another 30 points in the last 2 days. If it stayed here, that'd be a 100-point move on the S&P 500, which is a $3,900 index, right? We're talking about 2.5%, 3%, somewhere around there move, right? Great overall move. But now we go into some of the other things. Is it a morning star? It could possibly be. We need another day, right? We've got a double top pattern. Roman called out. We've got these two candles hit right here, and we're at the same point. If we get a failure, this shows us a double top. Paul said about to hit head on ugly, bumping its head on ugly. Exactly, Paul. Exactly. Gary said 3,907 resistance indicated by the doji, likely reversal. Brenda said halfway fib hesitation on the 618. Yep. So, and we may wind up, Brenda, we don't know, but we may wind up with an H, right, off of this right here. And now that I've opened it up, 1, 2, 3, triple top potential. But I wasn't sharing that as part of the screen. I didn't look at it. I was just bringing it in so you could see the current candle. But looking at it here, it's a triple top. That 500 has held 1, 2, and we're not sure yet, but it may hold right here. If it does, this is the third attempt at that level and we can't break through, right? The really good thing is, and those that are in power option plays realize this already, we've got plenty of room to take advantage of a move in here. What do I mean? Look at the location of my 21 moving average, right? It's 25% of the overall distance of these two fib lines. It's 25% away from that fib line. That means I can, if the markets start to turn bearish, I can take advantage of the downside on a directional trade. It would be day trade, but it would be a directional trade. So trading SPY as an example, right? And I've got a lot of room to the downside there as a place to make profits, right? Having the confluence up above head of the two fib line and the 100-point level, having that triple top up there, right? Having it be a doji pattern up there, all these things pointing to, hey, it may reverse, it may pull back. And if it does, great, I've got a plan. Well, what if you're wrong, Rob? What if it doesn't reverse? Well, that would mean what? It has to go higher. Break out at the 39.07, retest and bounce. Take the bounce. What about the breakout? Take the breakout if you're a breakout trader. Guys, when I set this up in my head, this is all about finding the right system for me to trade that day, the right pattern, the right structure, the right setups for me to trade that day, utilizing a trade type that I want to take advantage of. So in other words, could I trade Goldman Sachs and use a directional trade? Yes. Could I use a credit spread, a debit spread? Yes. Yes. Could I do a diagonal? Yes. But it's the one that I want to trade, what I'm comfortable with in this market, that I feel the risk is worth the investment. And that is huge. You've got to be comfortable. I may tell you Coinbase is a great looking candidate for the pre-market. It doesn't mean it's good for you. You have to like it. You can look at that and say, that dude is off his bird. You're nuts. I would never take that trade. And that's okay. We're still friends. We have a difference of opinion. You don't hate your buddy, your best friend, your spouse because you disagree, right? You have a different opinion. If you don't like that setup, you don't have to take it. That's okay. You will not hurt my feelings one bit. I promise you, you won't. Trip said tops are lower each time. Valid point, Trip. Very valid point. Tops are lower on each one of those 3 times. Tyler said, I'm looking into buying a put calendar spread after lunch on the SPX. There you go. So you've got to look at what's there and say, okay, it's in a neutral bias right now, right? Moving averages are in the exact wrong order for bullish, right? Pink is on the bottom, green's in the middle, brown's on top. They need to completely flip to be a true bullish market, but at least get the 8 above the 21. And then I like it better and get the price above the 55. This, I was going to point over here as if you could see it, but the brown line, the moving average right here, get me above that, which is a confluence of the 618. Guys, you see what's happening here? How all of these things are setting up there, right? At least give me that before I look at bullish. Now, would I be interested in a day trade potential? Yeah. Fail off of this level. It looks like we've dropped a little bit since we're talking now. Fail off of this level, and I'm looking at the 8 moving average, I mean the 21, the green line, as my first stopping point. All right, so I've got a lot of opportunity to the downside. If it breaks out, retest, bounce, I'll take the bounce right there, and I have a clear and concise entry. Clear and concise entry. Starting this week, guys, we're going to be looking at a setup that I taught. I didn't teach it here. I taught the bones of it I was invited to speak on Benzinga's. They bring me on as a guest consultant for options trades. And we were talking about trade setups, and I was talking about this new trade setup that we did, which is called a switchback trade, right? Tripp is the one that named that one. Actually, he came up with it. That switchback trade is basically, it's an inflation buster. So it's really what it is. It's this type of market. When you have a stock that's at a major level that could go up or down, we're finding candidates for that and looking at the trade based on the setup and what it does. So I will be training on that setup when we come to New York in October. I'll be training the mastermind group and the inner circle on that setup right there on how to trade it and go into all the details inside and out. Inner circle will probably get a preview the month before in September of it, and then we'll kind of deep dive into it in October. All right, but stoked about that event. Finally getting some live events going on for us. Right. All right, excellent. So, but guys, if you're interested in that, let's see. Do me a favor, Lee. Drop in, if you would, please, the link to tradinglikeaboss.com. Guys, go over to tradinglikeaboss.com, and on that page, you're going to find in the bottom somewhere, there's a link to Trade with Rob. If you want to be notified about this switchback trade, go ahead to the Trade with Rob and just say yes. Make sure you subscribe to that list, because we don't email this out to our entire database. This only gets emailed out to those of you that say, I want to get this email. Excuse me. They'll normally come sometime after 4 o'clock. Between 4 and 5 is normally when you'll see that email come out. Probably 4:30 to 5 is more like it, because it takes me a little bit of time to find them. All right, Lee, appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. Excellent. All right, so what candidates do you guys want to take a look at? Drop those candidates in right now, and we'll go check some of those out. Let's see what we can find as potential trade setups here. All right, so Brenda is first to the mic with QQQ. Some would say she has an advantage because it's one letter she's got to hit instead of 3 or 4 different ones. All right, so let's see what we've got here. All right. It is still good. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to bring up my symbol grid. All right. Maybe I was too fast. Just switch that over to Apple. Here we go. Let's see. Q's. All right, there we go. We don't have the data updated in this one. All right. So I don't need it up here right now. Let's see. So we're up right now today about 381. So Brenda, did we have a clear and concise entry for the Q's today? You took the Q's. You did great on it. Right? We've got our low today of 293.85. We have 293.45, we'll call it, is our fib line, 40 cents away. The trade, the entry was coming off of that level. Right? That was the entry today, was taking it off of that. And it's a great setup off of that level. You've got a confluence at the 300 level with the what is right now 299.25, which is the 55 moving average. Right? So I like the setup. If we close where we are today, guess what? I'm looking for a pullback tomorrow and a bounce. If I can get that bounce, I don't have to touch the line. Get me down closer to it. You know, if that line was at 100, well, actually, let's say the line is at 300, right? Because that's about where we are. The line was at 300, and we're up at, let's say, 303. If you can get me down to 301, 375 cents, in that, somewhere in there and bounce, as far as I'm concerned, you hit it, right? I would take the trade off of that, okay? Assuming market confluence and all of that, right? But good opportunity. I like it, Brenda. I like it a lot. And then you also had Micron in there. Stepping on Tripp's toes a little bit there, Brenda. So Micron, same scenario, Brenda, and this, guys, watch. This is a switchback trade. This is a switchback trade. I like one direction better than the other, but it is a trade that has the opportunity to go either direction. Why? Because we close near a key level. We're in a neutral bias, okay? So I like that a lot. That's a great one if you can get it, because there is no push of everybody's looking bullish or everybody's looking bearish, depending on the direction the chart's moving, right? So this one today, what would I want to see happen? Move up, bounce off of the fib line, and that's your potential entry in there. If it broke to the downside, drop down, retest the fib line, fail, and take the entry there. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's a matter of identifying the right candidate for the setup, right? So same scenario, Brenda. I like this the same way. $65 is resistance. ish. 61.25 is support. So you've got some opportunity on this one. I like it. I like it a lot. I hope that helps, Brenda. Let me know in the comments down below. William is asking for IYR. All right. It's been a little bit since we looked at them. Let me get rid of this pop bar that's on there. That's just to tell where the last pop was. All right. So this one could also be considered, William, a switchback trade, right? We're right at a major resistance level yesterday, right? Lots of room up and down. You know, we've got room up to 98 on the upside, 88 on the downside. So there's definitely some support and resistance in there, right? For us to make it to. But when I look here at the last month and a half-ish, whatever that comes out to be, when I look here, concerning is not the word, but it makes me take pause of, we've attempted the breakout and failed to the upside. We've attempted the failure and we've regained back up above that, the fib line, the major support level, right? And the last attempt down, we're back at it now. So will it work? Maybe. But if you analyze what happened, we broke out, we retested, we ran up and we failed. We pushed up, we ran higher, so no trade there. Here we pushed up, we went sideways down, retest and fail. We got to about the fibit in there. So it probably would have been okay on a bearish trade there, bearish entry. So the question is going to come down to, we've got a high, a slightly lower high, and depending on where this one ends up, we have a low and a slightly lower low. So now we're looking at potential bearish pattern in there. All right. So use those lines, William, to figure out exactly where we are next. All right. Hope that helps. Trip's asking for AMD. And the Trip Trio is cut down to 2 today because we already did one. All right. Just want to see where the entire fib is on AMD. All right. We're still good with fibs. So we moved today. We moved today into neutral bias. If we close here, would I consider this a switchback trade? The answer is no. No. I have no room to the downside. My downside would run me into the 21 moving average. It's too close. I'm not interested. Okay. Doesn't mean I'm not interested as a trade, just not switchback. It would be a bullish entry potentially, right? So Trip, we need to close preferably above. I'd like to see a close about 85 or so. It'll give us the room to move down to that 83.74 and bounce with 91.5 as resistance. Right? So if that went too fast for you, I understand. That's how I used to feel as well. I used to feel the exact same way, that this stuff is just way too fast. Right? I can't catch it all in that amount of time. But the more you're involved, the more you're doing with this, the faster you'll be able to process what I'm saying quicker. It's not that you get any smarter. It's just you're more the repetition of hearing the words. Brandon talked about last month. Brandon taught our full one-day inner circle training, which was just amazing what he went through there. And he talked a little about Squawk. And I used to use this Squawk box in my ear. I would actually have a headset on and I would listen to someone on the floor. And it's like listening to an auctioneer all day long. Goldman Sachs on a bid, Goldman Sachs on a bid, It's going up, up 50, up 55, 52, up 54, 50. And it's like, oh my, but once you learn to process it, you can hear it just fine. You know, I am a big Audible fan. On my cell phone, I use it all the time. Every day I'm on Audible, right? I have, I don't know, 100 books on Audible, right? And I've probably listened to 70 of them in the last year and a half. And I love it. My wife has just started using it. Right. I had a book that she actually wanted to read. So we downloaded the Audible app for her. And I listen at 1.55 speed. So it's about 1.5 times the normal speed. My wife is like, how can you listen to that? And we put it to regular speed. And I said, How can you listen to that? If you've ever read a book and all of a sudden you read a whole paragraph and you're like, wait, what did I just read? Your mind drifted. It's a lot harder for your mind to drift when you're reading at that speed because your brain can capture more information quicker than the average person can speak it. I'm not talking about the speed demon folks that read, these crazy fast auctioneer type models, right? And she can't listen to it. It's way too fast for her to use that way, right? And that's okay. But it's the same thing here. When you learn to process it quicker, you're going to feel like it's going too slow. I feel that I drag my feet when I teach, that it's taking forever to make a point. And inevitably, someone turns around and goes, Rob, please, can you slow that down? Wait, say that again. I didn't quite catch that. Right? I'm going too fast because their brains are not processing it as quick as I am talking about it. And why does it feel slow for me is because I already understand it. So I feel like I need to go faster. And it's not that I talk faster. It's just that I feel like it should be taught quicker. Right? Because, hey, y'all understand all this stuff already, right? No, you don't. And that's why you're here. And even those that are here that do understand a lot of it. Right? After watching Rob on 2x speed YouTube, these classes feel slow. There you go. Gary, I don't know if I can do me on double speed, but I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, I love that. I've actually, told my team that Sean is the one that takes care of all of this. He's right over to my left right now. I want, on all of our videos, there's speed control on there so you can speed it up. So you don't have to listen at the regular speed if your brain can capture at that. So on our own videos on our site, Power Option Plays, Covered Call Explorer, all of those e-minis, I want them all able to run on whatever speed you want. You want to listen to double speed? You go for it. Right? Brooklynese. There you go, Brenda. Brooklynese. All right, let's see. All right, so that's AMD, Trip. We already did Micron. Let's do IBM. A little bit of a tangent there on AMD there, but definitely think it was something we needed to talk about. All right, Fit is good. I like that we're in this uptrend. We are bumping our head multiple times at that 142.20 level is my only, not concern, the only thing I take note of. Trip, if we can close right here, what does that give us? What kind of trade? If we close right here, what kind of trade setup is this potentially? Anybody come up with it? What did I call it? What kind of trade? Oh, I have to scroll down, I guess, and not auto forwarding. There you go. Switchback, switchback, switchback. Exactly. Right? The opportunity is I could take potentially a bullish entry, potentially a bearish entry. Where is my preference? Bullish, because we're already on that side of the moving averages. But if we break that 138 level, this black Fibit line right here, if we break that level, I'm in a neutral bias at that point. So I'm okay taking that bearish trade. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with taking it. Full contracts too. Right? Although if I go against direction, I normally take an aggressive trade, which means less, but you could take it. Right? So I like the setup there, Trip. You got that 139, that 142 and change. Those are your support and resistances in there. All right. Let's see. All right, now I got to move back up. So let's see this. All right. Okay, good. Let's go look. Gregory is saying Apple. It's funny. I don't know who it was. I think it was Kramer this morning. I had CNBC on as I'm going through my morning ritual of getting everything ready. And I'm in the kitchen getting my celery juice going this morning. And my wife is actually down there as I'm listening to it. And she pointed out how one of the gentlemen was very handsome, sitting next to Kramer, and it was David Fabian, right? Is who she's talking about. She was trying to say it in a very nice way without saying, wow, he's good looking, But anyway, and whether you find him or not, that's up to you. But they were talking about Apple and saying that Kramer was talking about it, that people are just throwing money at Apple. All right, Apple's got to go back up again. So just put the money in Apple. And I'm not saying it won't. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You know, were there people buying Apple right in here? Yeah, they were buying it in here too. Right. And then here and here. So you got this move up. You know how many people got crushed on Apple and got stopped out in here? So if you bought it here, it's awesome. You're doing well. But now what? You're back at a resistance again. Right. So you always have to look at the chart. And it's not that buying Apple down here was wrong. It's not. It needs to be right for your risk profile. As long as it's good for that, then it's good for everything. Then it works. And that's all I personally care about at all is, does it fit your risk profile? If it does, you go for it. That's exactly what we need to do. If it doesn't, okay, then we need to look at something else. So when I look at Apple right now, today, Apple is kind of in the middle, right? There's really not much happening there. It kind of gapped up a little. It had a little move up, little wiggle down, but not a whole lot, right, Gregory? So for me, the 8 has just crossed up through the 55. We are in a bullish bias. The moving averages are still convoluted. They're kind of twisted, right? They're not really straight. It's not 8 on top, 21 in the middle, and brown on the bottom, pink, green, red. It's 8 on top, 55 in the middle, and green on the bottom, right? Well, based on that, I could take a directional trade. I could take a swing trade on it if I want to, but I would still consider it aggressive. And for me, I would take less contracts. Power option plays, we take 10 as a standard. We take 4 as an aggressive trade. Okay. So that's how I'd be looking at Apple right now, right? You're just respecting that 149 level and that 152.5 level. All right. I hope that helps. Erica said shares of Google long-term. So, you know, you've got to look at it. Let me see. I don't remember the date, so it's easy to just do it here. So it's split on June 3rd. Right? All I did was hit the U. So it's split on June 3rd. I bought the next day and Amazon tanked. Right? I bought some more Amazon on a bounce and it continued to drop. We came back down to our support level. I bought some more, came back down again. I bought some more. So I have 4/5 of my whole position on Amazon right now of what I'm looking for. So I've got 80% of the shares I wanted to buy, I now own on Amazon. And I will be looking at Google the same way. I just want to see a fib drawn where I can utilize historically, and I'll do it tonight after the open. There was no way on a Monday after being gone for a week on vacation. Mondays are crazy anyway, but there was no way being gone after a Monday for vacation that I was going to have time to look at Google for a trade today, no matter what. But I believe Google, listen, Google wants to own the world, right? They do. They've got their paws in everything, right? The Googles, the Amazons of the world, the Apples, guys, these are huge companies. They're not going anywhere, my opinion. And my opinion only. They're not going anywhere. To me, they're all good investments. It's just a matter of timing. Do you buy them now and deal with the heat on the downside? I mean, I am profitable on my Amazon shares. So even though I bought some up here, right? Even though I bought some up here, I'm profitable on my Amazon shares because I didn't buy all of them. I bought a small portion of them, right? And I even bought some by mistake in an account I didn't want. On one of the trade setups. I had the wrong account open on TradeStation, hit enter. It's like, But, you know, overall, I'm very happy with Amazon. And I am holding it for long term. All right. I've got quite a few shares. For my account, it's a large number of shares on one particular holding. It really pushes up against my SPY holdings as far as number of shares, not dollars of shares, but number of shares. But for me, you know, you look at an Amazon, you look at a Google, you know, if we look, here, let me see. Nope, I got to do it up in that box, right? So, Google. I already said yes. All right. So if we look at Google, let's say you own those shares, and here it is Friday. and the stock's trading 111.5 and you wanted to rent them out, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find myself that 40 delta, which is 113. I can rent those shares out for $1.38 per share. 100 shares, that's $138. Let's round it. Let's drop it down to 125. If you can do that at $125 a week, you're looking at $500 a month on your $11,151 investment on 100 shares. $500 in a month. 22 months, you pay for the stock. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to go against you. It's not going to get called away. I'm not saying any of that. Just using this as an example to show what the possibility is on a stock like a Google, right? I think there's a lot of opportunities there for them, without a doubt, right? Let's see. Robert's asking for GME. So I hope that helps, Erica. Let's see. There we go. Back to it. Robert's asking for GameStop, GME. So let's go back there. All right, GameStop, 4-for-1 split announced. CFO fired the next day. Go figure, right? Of all things. I think it was CFO. Guys, we've got that 152 level. We've got that 138 half level in there. We're in the middle right now, right? I like GameStop. I mean, to me, they're a great company for credit spreads. You get really nice premium on a GameStop, just like you will on an AMC if you can get the price up a little bit. It's been beaten a little bit too far down. But Robert, I like it a lot, but we do have that resistance that we've hit and failed off that 618. And we had our two-line move right from it, right? So there's that H in there. Didn't quite get back up, pressed up to it again and pulled back the same day. We're stretching up now. If we could break the 153, Robert, 170 is clear selling, right? But if we break 153 and I can get a credit spread below 139, I would be very happy about that. On a bull put spread. Let's see. Trip said, beware of earnings today on IBM. Yeah, there you go. Brendan said, I'd rather it retrace and bounce. I agree. I'm 100% with you. Trip, you had in some candidates that maybe we redraw the fibs on Micron and on Qs. Probably need to look at them. We're out of time for today. But definitely think that that's something we should do, right? So if you remind me next week, I would appreciate it earlier, and we'll get those done for you. But guys, there's a lot of things out there in the market right now. You know, I talked to a friend of mine that was looking to do his own stock market education company, and he goes, "Man, it's hard out there today. There's so many people on the internet, and this guy is a killer trader. He crushes it every single week, crushes it." He said, "I don't want to fight in this Red Sea there of all these people out there that are doing this. I'm just going to trade and forget about it. I just don't want to deal with it any longer." Right? Point being is there's a lot of people out there spewing information, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay. We show the results of everything we do. We show every candidate. We show every entry, every target, every stop, everything that's been done. We share that. Brandon does it in what he does in E-mini, in SPX, in Wealth with Spread, all of it. He shows everything of what his totals are when it's all said and done. Tony's got a brand new tool coming out. I'm just going to let you know. I'm not saying what it is, but in this fall, he's got a brand new tool coming out, a brand new training where he's going to share all of his results with you. Everything that happens, you're going to see right inside of there, right? That's the only way that it works here. Somebody sent an email to us last week, just the week before, like Thursday of the week before, that they're interested in teaching. I called out, reached out to the guy today, left him a voicemail. And guys, bottom line is if he's not trading and can't show me what he's doing, I have no interest in it. Show me what you can do. Don't tell me what you can do. I want to see it. Show me what you can do. And then and only then will we consider possibly bringing someone on as if they have something to contribute as a coach, right? There's a lot of people out there, guys, but the stuff that we teach here and the processes that we go through, if you follow the system, they work. Does that mean you can do exactly what I do? No, you never will. That's why when I see Roman say, take some of Rob and some of Brandon, that's what makes Roman. That's what's made him such a good trader right now, is he's combined things from multiple coaches together, and he kicks tail on a regular basis. Show me the money. There you go, Robert. Show me the money. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Keep showing up, folks. Get involved, participate, take advantage of some of the trials. You're going to see a crazy email coming out about monster market movers this week. So look for that email, and I will see all of you at our next update. All right. Bye for now.